Hello and welcome to a Dominaria Sealed League. This is Old Man Poole. Before we jump into deck building here, I want to thank Eric Asuna for sponsoring this draft. Eric's been a longtime viewer and longtime commenter, always has some really great insights on picks and just plays in general. All-around great guy, and this Sealed League is brought to you by him, so thanks so much. As often when I do sealed pools, I kind of start out by looking at our rares, so let's do that. Ooh. Durgaz is fantastic. Verdant Force is also cool. Sylvan Awakening, I think, is probably pretty okay in sealed, just another card that provides inevitability. And Two-Headed Giant. So we're really kind of hoping that they're like black, red, and green kind of work out. I guess primarily hoping for red-green, then splash for Durgaz. Also have Isolated Chapel, I guess, which would maybe make a splash easier, although we need to be in white, which maybe doesn't fit super well with the rest of the rares. So cool, good start. I generally go color by color and kind of pull the cards that I'm most excited about down into these two columns. Great cards up top and playable cards down below. I'm going to do that now and save you guys the trouble of watching me dither over individual cards, so I'll be right back with white. Before I go too deep too, I want to thank everyone that has subscribed, everyone that likes and comments on all the videos. You guys are the best. If you haven't subscribed yet, definitely do so. I provide videos Tuesdays and Saturdays, generally limited, although Magic Arena has given me some opportunities to spread out and show my legs in that sort of pseudo-constructed environment as well. Limited will always be my baby, though, so as soon as they bring a Dominaria draft, like legitimate draft, to Arena, I'm going to be doing a lot of that. But yeah, if you haven't subscribed, definitely subscribe. Now, our white looks super good, honestly. I'm a little bit biased because I do want to play those rares, but Gain's Reproach, Seal Away, Sanctum Spirit, Blessed Light, and Seraph Angel that's pretty good top end, and we're not doing terribly on the low end either. We have 2 Sergeant at Arms, Call the Cavalry, Quende, who is good, although I'm not sure we have tons of stuff that works with it. We do have 1 dub, which is kind of sweet. Yeah, I mean, white looks solid. Let's move on to blue. Our blue also looks fairly good. We've got a Merfolk Trickster, 2 Cloud Reader Sphinx, and Academy Drake as kind of our solid creature count. We're a little bit light on playables in general, like Homerid Explorer, Coldwater Snapper aren't necessarily cards you want, although the Snapper can be good if you have some auras, like Dub, to throw on it. Syncopate's fine. Opt, I think, is a card that you're always happy to use as a filler card, but not really a draw either. Blue's okay, not terrible, not fantastic. Black. Our black looks reasonable. We've got Vicious Offering, Deathbloom Thallid, Ellis Reborn, and Whisper kind of on our top side. And then a handful of sort of whatever cards, Fungal Infection, Stronghold Confessor, Cabal Evangel, Yargle, which is, I think, actually fine playable, especially if you have some good synergies with Historic, although usually those are in these 3 colors and we're not seeing tons there. Not in love. Probably worse than both white and blue, but still not terrible either. Okay, now red and green. These are the ones we're really hoping come together here. So rarely have I seen a color with this many unplayables in it, actually. I do like Run Amok, but only if you're quite aggressive, and I think you need a pretty specific sealed pool to get that to work. There's a bunch of mediocre stuff here. We do have Two-Headed Giant, Gitu Chronicler, Fire Intervention. Intervention may not even be in this top category, it's kind of borderline. It's removal, you'll always play it, but it's pretty clunky removal. Dirty Mage, Cyclops, Warcry Phoenix. I think there's basically no chance that we end up red, which a little bit unfortunate. But, you know, we can always splash for it too. Two-Headed Giant is good, but not necessarily absurd, so if we have to end up leaving that in the board, that's not the end of the world. Alright, now green. We're crossing our fingers for green. Okay, I'm not unhappy with green. We've got a Llanowar Elves, Elfheim Druid, Grow from the Ashes. The Grow can provide some good fixing, which might be necessary depending on how greedy our mana base is. And 2 good mana dorks really helps us lead into things like Verdant Force. Thorn Elemental is another powerful potential top end. Got, a bunch of reasonable stuff here. Green doesn't really have any removal. That's often the case with green, so we'd want to pair it with something that can help us out like that. Maybe white, for instance, having Seal Away and Gain's Reproach. Black actually didn't have ton. Actually, we're a little bit removal light, I think, in general in this pool. But green does look solid. Our uncommons, I like Tiana, although really I think only in red-white. I think our red is poor enough that that's not real likely. Slimefoot's interesting if we end up being black-green, splashing for Daragaz. Slimefoot is definitely a good payoff. It's also Garna, which arguably we would play as well. Garna is powerful. Do we have any fantastic artifacts we need to stick in here? Ooh, 2 Skittering Surveyors. Great. Okay, that means we can be quite greedy with our mana base if we've got that and Grow from the Ashes. Partick Wanderer, Guardians, Acer Glider are all okay. We have 2 Jousting Lances. I'm not opposed to playing one of those. I'm kind of tempted to try and do white-green, like double splash for Daragaz. That might be kind of crazy, but with 2 Skittering Surveyors and a Grow from the Ashes, I don't think that's unreasonable. I think that our white is the next best color for us. Don't hate blue. I think the only color that's out is red here. I think red just is not looking like where we want to be. And again, Two-Headed Giant is powerful. The upside when this card does come up like Devil Heads, for instance, is absurd, but it's a lot of times it's just a 4/4 for 4, which is good, but not worth splashing. Let's see. So if we're playing Daragaz, we'd splash for like Eldest Reborn. Probably nothing else here. There's Slimefoot though too, which is a payoff. I like our white's just too good to pass up the... Like, Sarah Angel is as powerful as a lot of the rares. Like, I think this card is better than the Two-Headed Giant, for instance. Blessed Light's good. Sanctum Spirit. Like, we just have some good stuff in white. I think blue is out. It doesn't really synergize with our splashes. And while the cards are good, I don't think they're quite up to snuff compared to some of the other stuff we're trying to do. Could like splash for Slimefoot. Maybe let's start out by looking at white-green here and see how that looks. I think that's our most likely color combination. Okay, well, we have a long curve, which is kind of funny, but it makes sense. Our top end is pretty high. Let's see. So this is 26 playables right now. We don't have to play Eldest Reborn. Don't think we want Quende. 2/2 double strike for 4. I mean, that's not miserable rate. Oh, I don't want Excavation Elephant, almost certainly. Slimefoot. I really want to splash for Slimefoot. Garna. Garna is powerful, just like a very good, high-quality, like, modular card. Maybe that's pushing things a little bit too far. We have the nuts fixing here, though. Kind of do want to play Slimefoot, too. I'm just not sure how much we should push the envelope here, either. Don't think we want Vicious Offering. That's our next best red card. Don't think we really want Fire Intervention, either. If we splash like this, we're splashing black and we're splashing red. Heavier on black than red. We do have Isolated Chapel. Honestly, this looks pretty solid. We're a little bit high on creatures as it stands now, maybe. Not sure this is a deck that wants Dub, although Dub is powerful enough that maybe it should just be in among the deck. I think I might cut it, though. Maybe we'll sideboard it in if my opponent seems to be very lacking in removal. Maybe we cut like a Krosan Druid. I don't hate this card, but the 10 life isn't always all that relevant. I do like the Soldier in a Can. Sergeant at Arms is... We don't have anything that like really pumps or plays off of the effect, but it can buy us a lot of time. A 2/3 is not terrible, and getting 3 potential chump blockers makes combat tough for our opponent. I think Quende is the last to fall. We do have a lot of cards that help us with lands. We could play at 24 here, but we've also got a really high curve. I think Quende bites the dust, especially if we're getting rid of Dub, I suppose. So we play something like this. We're playing white primarily for the removal, which I think is reasonable. Yeah, this looks good. We've got some really powerful top end. Hopefully enough cards that can kind of durdle around to get us there. I think this deck will have some really potentially powerful draws, like Elflame Druid, turn 2, and then like Grow from the Ashes turn 3 kicked. Means that we get to ramp really fast. Okay, so if we're playing our lands, we want Isolated Chapel, 2 Memorials. Do we want a Jousting Lance? That card's a little bit like Dub in that I'm not sure this deck needs it. We're trying to just stay alive until we drop one of our bombs, I think. And Jousting Lance is not terrible on defense, but not nearly as good as it is when you're trying to beat down. Bardic Wanderer is just worse than like Primordial Worm. Trample is relevant, but so is 7/6 body. I don't think we're bringing any other artifacts. We don't have any historic payoffs per se, so yeah, let's bring in those 3 and add some basics. I like 1 mountain. I think I like 2 swamps. Do we need 2? We have Isolated Chapel. We have a whole bunch of things to help us fix. Maybe we just can't assume we'll play Slimefoot right on time, but that's okay. It's good or better in the late game anyway. So maybe like 1/1. We have 3 white sources there. So we do 8. We're a little bit heavier on green than white. Not a lot, though. We'd want to have green for like Llanowar Elves turn 1, certainly. But once we have one of these, all of the double cost green cards don't really matter anymore. Alright, yeah, I think let's look at that. I could see building this deck a couple of different ways. I'm not opposed to having multiple decks built and sealed. That's often a good strategy. But I think we want green, I think we want white. I think the other colors just are a little bit weaker. Kind of all around, so yeah, I think this is the deck. I'll see you guys for match 1. Welcome back for match 1. Have a reasonable, if not absurd, hand here. We did hedge pretty far into the controlling matchup side of the sealed pool, so hopefully our opponents aren't really beating us down, but I think this is a keep. We can go and find green with Skittering Surveyor. We have access to black already. And if we find Daragaz, I guess we'll just hope to find another fixing card somewhere along the way. Green. Probably a good sign for us. If it's like green-red, that definitely could be more beat down, but something like green-black I think is likely to be a bit on the slower side. Hopefully we can play our long game where I think we're going to excel. I don't know. You can have some pretty aggressive Sapperling starts too, though. A Sergeant at Arms is not bad. I'm definitely going to play the Skittering Surveyor for, well, I guess maybe not necessarily. Skittering Surveyor blocks the Sapperling's fine, but maybe if they play like the Lord, we'd do the Sergeant at Arms. Eldest Reborn is not looking fantastic against the green-black deck, but ooh, green-black-red. Maybe there's a Daragaz of my opponents over there? So do we want to sandbag the Surveyor? If we do, it gives us more chance to find lands, and since we have a lot of top game here, maybe that's correct. We could play Sergeant at Arms, that's about as likely to be able to block effectively. If my opponent's got removal, we're much happier playing the Surveyor. We got Sanctum Spirit, which we may want to pitch like Eldest Reborn to. We already have one thing that keeps it alive, although maybe having Skittering Surveyor to pitch as well is not bad. Do you think I want to find green? I think I'm going to play the Surveyor here. I'm not 100% sure that's correct, but I think I want to play the Surveyor. I think you could definitely make an argument for Sergeant at Arms there. Okay, let's go and find green. Which is not a splash color, but you need some forests, especially when you're playing things like Verdant Force. Ooh, wow, my opponent with like natural 4-color Tron? What even is that? Okay, Grand Warlord Radha is going to be kind of a beating. My opponent can swing a Sapperling just to gain mana. We're probably just going to take 3 here. My opponent probably won't have a follow-up, though. They could trade Sapperling for a little bit of ramp. Yeah, looks like they are. Okay. So I'd have to imagine that means that they do have a follow-up, which means we're going to get fairly far behind in tempo pretty quickly. Sanctum Spirit will do a good job of slowing the bleed, though. The lifelink's pretty powerful. We can pitch Eldest Reborn to it. Or are they going to kill this? Oh. Okay, yeah, I'm okay with that. That means that Sanctum Spirit can't block the Warlord as effectively. I guess this is 6 damage. That's a not small amount. My opponent can't swing at the Sapperlings, though, into Sanctum Spirit very effectively. So that's good. I guess we can kind of probably stabilize with Sergeant at Arms eventually here. Looks like my opponent is at least primarily green, probably red-green, although it's honestly kind of hard to tell with their mana base. I don't think this is a card I would splash for, but if you got really good fixing, I could see it. We are not going to throw away Eldritch Reborn just for life here, I don't think. Especially given that my opponent could kill in response, which would be disaster. So we go down to 8. I'd really love, like, our Spider here would be a fantastic draw. Uh-oh, this looks kind of scary. Okay, big migration. Uh-oh, so not only can my opponent make roughly 1 billion mana, a lot of life. So we're basically at 11. My opponent can swing for 10. We block one of the Saplings, stick it out. We could play Eldest Reborn, make my opponent just get rid of a Sapling. It's not absurd. I really would like to wait for Sergeant at Arms, just because the 2/1/1s make such a difference. But let's see. We play Eldest Reborn, destroy a Sapling, they swing with everything. We block, go up to 11, and then take 8 down to 3. The following turn, we play Sergeant at Arms. That's assuming they have nothing, too, which is a pretty big assumption. Following turn, they've got 4 Saplings and Rada. We block like another Sapling. Chump block, yeah. Kind of feel like we need to kick this. Yeah, this is gone bad pretty fast, though. So we'll play Eldest Reborn, manage to snipe 8 Sapling, but maybe my opponent will just give us Rada? Probably not. Okay, so Sanctum Spirit no longer can be indestructible. My opponent doesn't know that. Eldritch Reborn not doing fantastic work for us here, but this is better than nothing. I think our curve was just a bit too high for us to be really excited this game. It's got 6 mana. That's a lot. And we'll just block a Sapling. My opponent's got a trick here, we're pretty dead. We get another turn at least. Now we just have to hope my opponent doesn't have anything. They have to have like lands in hand pretty much. Because any reasonable sized threat is gonna hurt us quite a bit too. This is gonna be 4 blockers. Huh. You look awfully familiar. I don't think we can beat Daragaz. I guess let's draw and see, but I don't think so. Well, that's a little bit interesting, actually. We can Blessed Light, exile Daragaz, chump block the Warlord, up to 6 takes 4. Alternatively, we don't chump block Warlord, we block a Sapling, we take 7, we're dead. Is there any reason to wait on Blessed Light? My opponent's got anything, we're just dead. Do it on their upkeep, but yeah, it's not going to matter. I guess we'll just do it now. So unfortunately, this doesn't destroy it, so we can't bring it back. Although I guess it would exile itself anyway, doesn't it? So Sanctum Spirit's going to die. We can bring it back with Eldest Reborn. Maybe still sneak our way through. My opponent is kind of out of gas. We're still very tenuous, though. It doesn't take a whole lot for us to just lose. Although I said that with Daragaz last turn, then we drew a pretty good removal spell. So we're going to go down to 2, chump block with the Spirit. Opponent still has more mana than they know what to do with, for sure. So yeah, I mean, our opponent's deck looks very, very similar to ours, honestly. They're playing kind of 4-color. They might be green-blue base, splashing for Daragaz. Dark Bargain, okay. That's bad in that it gives my opponent a lot of options. They still have some good mana here, but on its own, it doesn't do that much. Yova is bad in the long run. And maybe in the short run, too. My opponent's deck looks good. So we're definitely bringing back Sanctum Spirit. And we've got 7 mana. I think we've just got to lean on Sergeant at Arms here. We're going to be at 5. We have to be able to chump block that, but we maybe can hold our ground then. And then Verdant Force next turn is pretty good. That might stabilize us. If we play Thorn Elemental, we're just dead, right? Swings, bugs. Well, I guess not technically. I think Sergeant at Arms is still better, though. Okay. Alright, Army in a Can. Do your duty. My opponent's got Inevitability with Tetyova. We actually, outside of Blessed Light, have basically no way to kill it, which is unfortunate. If they can't remove Verdant Force, it is gonna give us a Saproling every turn, and Thorn Elemental hits pretty hard, so we maybe actually be able to erase Tetyova. Maybe. Maybe. So it looks like my opponent is green-black, I'm going to say, splashing for Daragaz and Tetyova. I'm actually not sure my opponent's got a good attack here. I think they agree. Okay, Thallid Soothsayer. Okay, my opponent is just rolling in the cards. But we've got Verdant Force on the line if we find like Daragaz. I mean, even Thorn Elemental and Verdant Force might just be good enough. This is the beginning of each upkeep, so it does get out of hand pretty quick. It's 2 1/1s per turn. We certainly don't have any particularly good attacks either. I think my opponent's unlikely to have removal, otherwise they probably would have killed off the Sanctum Spirit. I'm drawing a card off the Soothsayer. And we're going to always yield to this effect. I can't imagine we're ever going to want to respond to it. Oh my goodness, the Saprolings is so cute in this set. Just all of them. I love all of the art. Okay, Tetyova is pretty good. Grow from the Ashes. Yeah. the more my opponent plays, the more I'm like, oh yeah, you're like a green, greedy mana deck too. That may be pretty common in sealed nowadays. Oh man, this card's so good. We have such little removal. And I mean, Blessed Light to kill Daragaz was clutch and very necessary to keep us in this game, but I'm a little bit worried we're going to die the long death to Tetyova. Thorn Elemental's nice, though. It's a card that can't easily be chumped. Although I guess my opponent's probably just going to trade with, like, Warlord or something like that. Yeah, because they could just put, like, this plus the Confessor in front of it, and then what do we do? Not too much. So maybe we just have to hope that, like, our best card remaining in the deck, Daragaz, is better than their best card. It's not a crazy assumption. We have kind of no combat tricks, kind of no other way to break the stalemate here, though. No flyers in the deck. Possible my opponent mills himself with Tetyova. It's not a May effect. Uh-oh. This is looking big, whatever it is, though. I've heard enforce of my opponents. Oh man, our decks are the same deck. This is so funny. We have 2 of our, like, big rares are just the same card. There's literally the same card. Right, call it Cavalry. Yeah, might as well. Our decks are the same deck. This is pretty funny. I think we gotta hope we either find Daragaz or my opponent mills. That's kind of the only way I think we win these games. But that doesn't honestly look that crazy. I guess we'll wait till my opponent's turn to crack the Memorial. Don't think Thorn Elemental honestly has a good attack. We can trade for my opponent's Grand Warlord. Like, they just double block though, and like that's not that great. I guess maybe it's never gonna get better. If we draw Gideon's Reproach, I guess maybe we can get something going. It's so funny. Our decks are the same. We already get to see probably pretty much everything. I guess our decks have one main difference. My opponent's got Tetyova and I don't. Oh, That's no fair. What? Oh man, we had such a dream. We had such a dream. Alright, GG. That's unfortunate. Yeah, I don't know. My opponent looks like they're a little bit... I don't know. I was gonna say maybe they're a little bit quicker than us, but that was pretty grindy finish too. I'm not really sure how I want to sideboard. Didn't see anything for Broken Bond. Oh, why am I not playing Adventurous Impulse? And that completely snuck by me. I think that actually should be main deck. We'll have to change that after this game, probably. Sylvan Awakening, maybe a good way to break out. Although my opponent's playing lots of Saprolings, that doesn't help, doesn't do as well. Man, I don't think there's any other color that really gives us a much better chance. I mean, we could play blue just because we've got some flyers. It's possible that's better. Things like that, I think, are still just a little bit too little to really be a difference. Maybe we want a Jousting Lance? We have some big stuff, but actually they weren't able to attack in the late game. One's going to go so wide. Not really sure how to shift out of this deck. Sylvan Awakening could get to the point where it's just absurd, though. Even if my opponent's got a lot of stuff, eventually this still could just be like a dome for 12 or something. Honestly, I'm not sure what to cut. Maybe the Druid just doesn't do all that much. Alright, let's run this. Okay, we'd like to play first. Fine hand. No green again, but we still have a Skittering Surveyor. And we've got a Seal Away, so I think this is definitely playable. Currently, we have turn 3 Surveyor, turn 4 Slimefoot. Slimefoot's actually a good inevitability source as well. I think we might need a little bit of luck to pull out this game, though. My opponent doesn't have a lot of removal either. If we resolve something like Daragaz, maybe that's just game. Ooh, or Sarah Angel. I like a Sarah Angel. I think we're still going to go and find green with Skittering Surveyor, although I do really want another white source for sure. I have a lot more green than white. Maybe Sarah Angel just is how we win this game. On the other hand, if we find like Grow from the Ashes, it gets so much better. I don't want to get Sarah Angel online though. This might be shooting myself in the foot. But I think I'm gonna grab the Plains. And now just if we find any land, Sarah Angel's online. And we have so many more green sources in the deck. Llanowar Envoy. Not crazy exciting, but not terrible. Okay, sure. We'll play another Skittering Surveyor. Now we have green, which is nice. Yes, we do want to use the ability. And next turn we'll play Sarah Angel. We'll definitely double block this Envoy if my opponent wants to play that game. It looks like they might be stuck on... Oh, never mind. I was going to say stuck on green, in which case the Envoy actually may be valuable to them, but... Attack means no combat trick or removal, probably. I don't really see a reason not to play the Sarah Angel. Didn't see too much interaction from my opponent. Hopefully this just kind of gets the job done. We saw most of their deck. I think all but like 8 cards or so. I'm not actually 100% sure, but most of the deck. Ancient Animus doesn't do it now. They just have like an Eviscerate. Okay, no, this is good. Trying to build out their board even. It's interesting. That must mean they've got some good 6s, because otherwise I think you would sandbag the migration. Ah, okay. Yeah, they did have a Vicious Offering. Unfortunate. Not too much we can do about that, though. And now we're just hoping to draw, like, Verdant Force or Daragaz before my opponent does. Sylvan Awakening. But eventually, not great right now. I think we're going to play Mammoth Spider. It's just our most mana-efficient play. We do have Blessed Light to deal with some big scary thing from my opponent. Look at us playing all the colors. We've got 5 lands and they're all unique. 2 of them are basically plains, but still. Uh-oh. I don't know why I say uh-oh every time my opponent taps. Okay, Val Soothsayer is good, but not broken, certainly. Do we want to go for Mammoth Spider? If we swing in with Mammoth Spider, how do they block? Might just block the Saproling and then sack it. That's okay. I think I'm actually okay trading for the Soothsayer. Yeah, I'm gonna swing. It might be scary enough that my opponent... It's possible they're just gonna sack Saproling anyway, in which case we force the issue, but this maybe is a scary double block, yeah. Enjoy your card, but that is off the battlefield now. Let's play a Sergeant at Arms at this point, I think. Sylvan Awakening still just represents 3 2/2s at this point. If only Sarah Angel lived. That was timely. Okay, I've got a bunch of Saprolings. Okay, another land's not bad. So we can get Slimefoot going at this point. We swing in with the Mammoth Spider. Offer some trades. How would my opponent block if that's the case? Maybe just chump block? If they go all in, we could Blessed Light, although I don't really want to use Blessed Light up for that. I think I'm just going to play Slimefoot and hope our Inevitability engine's good enough with Blessed Light as an answer to Daragaz if my opponent has it. And I really wish we had some like group pump effects. This deck can go crazy wide. We should have cut Eldish Reborn. That's right. And I was trying to think of something to cut. I glanced past it, but on the other hand, getting back something like Sarah Angel's pretty big. The sacrifice effect is so bad, but okay, Grand Warlord, which means they may be setting up for a Daragaz swing. It's really not that bad for us, though. We'd be able to steal a lot of things, then Blessed Light would get them pretty good. Does not let them splash for Tetiova. Does help with Daragaz. Well, there's Eldest Reborn. I think it is going to be the play here. We get back Sarah Angel eventually. That is good. Despite my opponent just losing one Saproling. And a card. Yeah, I don't know. It's still value. Alright, and we'll pass back. What a board stall. I really wonder if we would be better playing something like blue. Just trying to get in with flyers. It's definitely possible that that's just going to be a better answer than like our big green beasties against a wall of Saprolings. Okay, there's Tetiova. One gets value immediately. I think I just need to get rid of that. We have Seal Away as an answer for Daragaz. It's a little bit less robust because they have like Broken Bond or something they could get us. Although we didn't show them too much that it would work for, just Ellis Reborn in the first game. Yep, let my opponent discard a card here. Okay, grow from the ashes. I guess they don't really need to splash anymore. Oh, we've got 7 mana at our disposal. I think we just got a Blessed Light. The card is just going to take over the game, I think, if it sits very long. We could play the really long, like, milling game, but I'm actually not sure we have enough time for that either. Okay. Rest in peace, Tetiova. We're going to get Sarah Angel back this next turn and start swinging with it. If my opponent doesn't have a good response to it, then we can start chipping them down and maybe eventually into like a mass attack range. They have Daragaz, we're happy to seal away here. Wizard's Lightning, unfortunate, but ooh, I wonder if we actually want Slimefoot more than Sarah Angel. I don't think so, given what my opponent showed us. We still have cards in hand. I think Sarah Angel is going to be better, although Slimefoot, I could see games where we actually do want the Slimefoot. Sarah Angel. And we're going to play Call the Cavalry here. Well, unfortunate. Rest in peace. Rest in peace, Sarah Angel. Not much we can do about that, though, right? I don't think so. Okay, well, now it turns into the Hope I draw my Daragaz and hope they don't have one more answer. Sylvan Awakening might kill him eventually. They currently have 6 blockers. They block 1, 2, 4, 5. And it's still only taking like 8-ish. But we could get to a point where we got enough. I'm really worried the Seal Away answer for Daragaz just isn't going to quite work out. Another Grow from the Ashes for my opponent. Should play fast here, I think. I mean, obviously we want this to go to a game 3, and these games feel like they're going to be pretty long. Land. Nothing really to do with that. Oh, now has 5 blockers. They block 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right. 3 of those are used up. 4. There's Verdant Force. It's not good for us. Let's see, 6 blockers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those are all gone, so we swing for 8, 10, 13. Yeah. Last turn, I guess I could have hit them for 15. That's a lot. It's going to start going downhill with Verdant Force in play, though. Primordial Worm looks pretty poor compared to that. Right, come on, Daragaz. You're in here somewhere. You're in here somewhere. We are at a really high life total. Verdant Force means that Sylvan Awakening's unlikely to get us there, but it also means that my opponent's not going to be able to hit us very quickly. Uh-oh. We're tapping happily. Okay, so the opponent found theirs. We're just going to seal away this. Come on, no more answers? Last time we kind of ran out of answers for me and my opponent had just done enough damage that Wizard's Lightning managed to get us. But it's possible they just don't have anything else. Which is funny, because I don't think we have a ton of answers in our deck, but both of our decks are just so good at flooding the board. I don't have any combat tricks to help us get through. There's just nothing. Alright, come on, Daragaz. Hey, alright, I will settle for Verdant Force of our own. Man. These decks are... These games are just kind of absurd. Izeal. Yeah, I need to F6 aggressively. I could definitely see this coming down to time. Or if my opponent's just got like one more good threat, we maybe can't answer it. 2 Verdant Forces? What even is this? The funny thing is, I'm not sure it even matters. Unless the game goes crazy, crazy long. Yeah, I don't know, else have been good a while ago, but... I don't know, can we safely assume that Sylvan Awakening is just not going to do anything anymore? Not attacking. Got 1, 2... It's got like 10 already over there. It's gonna be hard to tell when my opponent can kill us, though, too. Yeah. Pass go, pass go, pass go. We can always crack the Memorial if we need to. My opponent is gonna outrun us on Saprolings eventually. There's another Memorial to Glory. No real reason to sack it. This is crazy. We're making 3 Saprolings every round. I think milling my opponent out is like a genuine potential here. I think Sylvan Awakening is bad. Both games have just not been impressive. My opponent's too good at building out the board. Yeah, well, we'll play a Sapper. Don't want to play Memorial to Glory on the off chance my opponent, I don't know, has like the lightning that shoots everything. That's actually maybe a good sideboard card. Although, most of the cards that my opponent is playing still are just Like, the saplings aren't the main threat, it's like verdant, and that's not actually getting anything. Yay, there guys! I knew I'd find you someday. And now I just have to hope my opponent doesn't have an answer. Our decks are basically the same, though. This is really funny. Alright. Oh, my pretty. It's nice that my opponent probably doesn't have an exile effect, so Daragaz I think will win it for us eventually. My opponent's got how many saplings over there? 26? Yeah, let's grow from the ashes. We will cast it with kicker. I think we maybe need to start cashing in these Memorial to Glory, because they eventually could cost us. I don't know what like random board wipe my opponent could have, but there might be something. It's getting to the point though, it's going to take me like half an hour to try and block everything on my opponent's side. I don't think we die, but let's see. One's got 30 saplings. They're just going to attack with everything? Probably might as well. Yeah. 36 mana for Crown Warlord Radha. Oh my goodness. Alright, well, let's make some blockers. This is going to be like... Oh yeah, actually we missed out on one activation for Memorial. Hopefully that doesn't cost us. Maybe I should have cracked it earlier. That is hilarious though. 36. My opponent's gonna have to like manually input all of that. What even is this game? 36 mana. Oh man. What even is this game? That's pretty funny. My opponent can like mill themselves in response without Soothsayer. I guess that didn't take too long, they just like spam clicked. Okay, so blocks. How are we even beginning to do this? I guess it probably doesn't really matter as long as we're fast. Oh. This is gonna be a nightmare. Like, it's gonna be hard to make sure I don't just die by, like, blocking incorrectly. What is this game? Okay, so we're taking 9 from the remaining saplings. Over here, we need to keep from taking too much damage. So block like that, block like that, block like that, that, block like that, like that. Oh, oops, that's not what I meant. That. Oh, I guess we shouldn't use in there. We could block like that. And then use 2 knights for it. This is not optimal blocking, this is fast blocking. Man, never has Magic Battlefield seen this much carnage. Good night. Okay, that's, we're gonna say that's good enough, I guess. Block, 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 block. Man, I stand in awe. Alright. There's the blocks. My opponent's got some sort of pump spell. They got some sort of pump spell. That's pretty funny. I think we just take 9, right? There may have been, yeah, just 9. Okay, and the board's cleaner. Hopefully they don't have an answer to Daragaz. That's been the case pretty much the whole game. Man, what a game. I'm kind of tempted to Sylvan Awakening, but Well, actually, just to make sure my opponent's dead. They don't have some sort of instant speed shenanigans. Yeah, it's not bad. My turn to swing for $1 billion. Okay. This is a good game. This is funny. Opponent goes down to -41. 8 cards left in hand, 9 cards left in hand. Okay, this last game's gonna have to be fast. We're low on time. I do think that Sylvan Awakening has been bad. Eldritch Reborn I actually think I want, just because something like Sarah Angel might be the difference between victory and defeat. It's possible that we should like side it in a Soul Salvage for the same argument, just because our most important cards matter so much, and these games just seem like they're gonna go so long. My opponent did beat us down a little bit in the first game, so I don't think we can go crazy nuts. I think things like Primordial Worm just aren't that exciting. Maybe even Thorn Elemental. I don't like having one more way to buy back like Sarah Angel, though. That's a way to break the stalemate. We could switch into blue. Sarah Angel's just so good, though. We want another random card. Actually, having another answer to Tatyova might just be super important. I wonder if we should bring in... Radiating Lightning's maybe interesting. It does just clean house. Maybe Radiating Lightning is powerful. I was tempted to buy Fire Intervention just because it's another way to kill Tatyova. It's interesting, both games have turned into board stalls, but I don't think they necessarily have to, so I'm a little bit worried of over-sideboarding. I don't like Radiating Lightning. Kind of want yet Tatyova. Maybe we do cut Eldritch Reborn if we're bringing in Souls. That kind of defeats the purpose, doesn't it? Maybe Mammoth Spider's just not exciting. My opponent showed us basically no flyers. Alright. Unless they sideboard in something crazy. They could get us pretty good if we're going all in on this. Alright. And let's cut one green source in favor of a red source, I guess. Alright, and that's the deck. It's kind of stupid. Alright, we each have about 7 minutes to put it back together. Hopefully we don't like mulligan to Oblivion or something. That was something. Okay, I think this hand's actually about as good as it can be. Let's go ahead and keep. We can go and find our black source for Slimefoot with Skittering Surveyor. Again, do need to just kind of play fast in general. Start playing Migration, playing right into the Radiating Lightning, I see. Okay, so we're going to take 2 here, and then we're going to play Skittering Surveyor. Yeah, Memorial to Unity, a good card, but not really a fast, like, beatdown card, which is... My only real fear is that my opponent just gets there on beatdown. Okay, let's play... Surveyor, go find black. Yes, we do want to use the ability for sure. So we have maybe a few more lands than I would actually like at this point. Go swing first? My opponent wants to attack, I'm perfectly happy to block. No play. Okay, Verdant Force is good eventually. Let's play Slimefoot. My opponent's got an answer for it. Oh well. Alright, so we have Verdant Force in 4 turns probably, assuming we find one more land. Still Radiating Lightning. Ooh, Yargle. Okay, well, Gideon's Reproach actually handles that pretty cleanly. We could also just play Call the Cavalry and double block with the Surveyor. Seems actually maybe a little bit better, because if my opponent doesn't swing, then Gideon's Reproach looks a little bit awkward. Let's just play Call the Cavalry here. Pass. Yargle, Yargle, Yargle. That's interesting. I'm not sure that's particularly powerful in this matchup. Didn't see any legendary synergies. A 9-3 seems really bad against 1 billion tokens. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that wasn't absurd or anything there. Kind of traded for like half a card and half a card. Okay, Feral Abomination. That's a annoying card. Gideon's Reproach could be an answer. We could grow from the ashes and then still have it up, right? So I guess let's do that. And a plains and another green source. And we'll plan on blocking with the knight and using reproach. Means we want to put a stop on my opponent's damage step. We'll block with the knight, assuming everything works. We'll use Gain's reproach. So the reason for doing that is my opponent had like an instant speed trick that doesn't get us as bad there, since Gain reproach wasn't going to kill it on its own. Wait, do they have enough? Not quite yet. I was going to say Verdant Force. That'd be funny. No reason to have that stop anymore. Let's play our Verdant Force. With Slimefoot in play, that's a dangerous weapon as well. We're going to make a lot of Saprolings, and the Drain potentially will get my opponent eventually. In addition to just being a 7/7. 7/7s are huge. Down to about 4.5 minutes remaining. It's always a yield to that. Ooh, man, this is tense. Anytime the time's coming down to the wire, it's tense. Whisper. Okay. So we can get a clean attack in. Maybe worth Radiating Lightning just to keep Whisper from doing great work. So here... Swing with Verdant Force. And we've got more than enough mana to make a couple of Slimefoot things. Could definitely have seen Radiating Force, just to try and force some damage, especially given that we're low on time. Sacrificing... Yeah, I guess that's bad, though, because they could have just sacrificed that way. Yeah, I think I'm actually just going to make these main phase, at least one of them. Well, no, I want to keep a Radiating Lightning. Just trying to play fast, and it's hard to play fast when you've got instant speed stuff. Having our Verdant Force down first is nice. My opponent's obviously got a lot of them. They could have like Daragaz that would still end us pretty quick. Whatever happens though, this game has been majestic to behold. Like, we've gone as deep into our decks as we can, and that board last game, that was just stupid. Uh-oh. This is looking big, whatever it is. Oh, okay. Intervention. Not too much we can do about that, but like one more Saproling. One had a similar idea, making sure we have all of the random removal we can. Ooh, nice. Daragaz is absolute gas. Okay. No reason not to swing with the Verdant Force. My opponent probably ought to just throw a Saproling in front. They don't get to draw a card off of it this time. Oh, I guess that's true. That was actually bad, because they can trade both of these away for Feral Abomination. Yeah, that was a little bit too fast of an attack, because that's a good trade for my opponent. Yeah, mistakes were made. Mistakes were made. Okay. That's all right. That's all right. They don't seem to have a whole lot going on. Daragaz is still going to kill him in pretty short order. But yeah, that was a bad final attack. I guess there's no reason not to be F6 here. Is running out of time. So we can swing with everything. My opponent blocks 2, but still takes 10, then Radiating Lightning kills him. That should be it, right? Okay, hey, we got there, man. What a battle. Yeah, man, what a battle. We both almost ran out of time. It's nice that we didn't. It's always a little bit of a shame when games truly go to time. But yeah, Clash of the huge Titan Ground Surge decks. That was something. Cool. Thanks for bearing with me, assuming you guys are still there. I'll see you guys for match 2. Welcome back for match 2. We won the dice roll. Hopefully this game is not quite as long as the first. Let's go ahead and keep. This hand looks good. Got an Elfheim Druid on turn 2. Always a welcome start. And actually don't have any of our huge late game drops, which is kind of nice. Are a little bit shy of mana in this hand, but the Elfhame Druid does help with that, certainly. Nice. And you guys get the plus side that now I'm in the nice good habit of F6ing aggressively here. Which I definitely do not do as often as I should. Well, that didn't come down to in that last game. That always sucks. Imagine we'll just play Call the Cavalry this next turn. If my opponent kills the Elfhame Druid, I guess we just play Sapphire, but yep. No plays yet. So we can't play Eldest Reborn. We've had actually quite good luck with our mana kind of throughout these matches. This is the first time we've actually been a little bit stuck. Alright, looks like my opponent may have been stuck on planes. They may have just been sandbagging though too. Sergeant at Arms does a fine job of stopping our Knight's aggression. And we don't really have a great way to force damage through here, so. Play Memorial to Glory, which means we can't play the Spider, unfortunately. We'll just pass. That's okay. Most of the time we're just kind of trying to play for a long game, I think, with this deck. Eventually we get to win off Daragaz. Or, you know, maybe more similar, like, simple things. Alright, opponent played a Swamp, showing off a third color or potentially a splash. I'd be super happy to block, kind of, no matter what my opponent wants to go for here. With these color combinations, it's most likely it's just a removal spell, but that means that 2 Knights plus the Sapphire means that probably would go okay for us. Blessed Light, cast, there's no real reason to. Mammoth Spider. Well, this can start getting on the beatdown, I suppose. It's not its usual position in a format, but I mean, it's a 3/5. Okay, opponent may be going for Dark. What's that card called? Dark Draw 2. Yeah, Dark Bargain. I like Dark Draw 2 though. Dark Look at 3, Draw 2, something like that. Okay, Fire Elemental is not a card I'm afraid of, although it does mean the Mammoth Spider cannot swing. Okay, well, we really don't have a whole lot to do other than just sit here. Eldest Reborn, being able to cast would be fine, although not even, like, bonkers here. Hellish Honor Guard. I wonder if this deck's just gonna have a problem breaking through. Well, it looks like my opponent's kind of a ground pounder, so. Yeah, still no reason not to just keep passing here. We could crack Memorial of Glory, but there are threats that we need the mana for, so. Ooh, Tiana. Okay, Tiana's gonna have to get got, I'm pretty sure. Probably gonna just try and seal away that. Primordial Worm is a not terrible beatdown option. We could just take 3, but in the hopes of swinging Worm next turn. So we have 7 mana available, so we can seal away and Blessed Light kind of in the same shtick. I think I'm just gonna play the Worm. We'll take 3. I don't think that's that bad. Let's see, if you enchant up Tiana and she dies, that'll go at the same time, so I think they get it back. I guess maybe she'd need to... Well, I'm not sure how it works. I think they would go simultaneously, in which case it would count. Ooh, Skittering Surveyor is nice. So we can just swing with Primordial Worm, see how my opponent cares to block, and maybe use Blessed Light to our advantage. Or we could just keep playing the long game and hope the Daragaz gets there, and we don't actually need to force the issue. On the other hand, swinging, and even if it trades, we can like Eldest Reborn at this point. We've got 8 mana, so we could do both in the same turn. Yeah, I'm gonna swing with the Primordial Worm. I think that's okay. Interesting that my opponent chose not to swing with Tiana last turn. Expecting the Worm, I suppose. Okay. And we just want to trade for Fire Elemental and then Eldest Reborn. If we Eldest Reborn, we're just going to get the Banalish Honor Guard. We could still Blessed Light. I mean, this is a bad attack. Actually, Eldest Reborn getting back Tiana. Well, no, we're going to exile, so that's not going to work anyway. I think we're just going to accept that fate. Play our Skittering Surveyor. and go and find one of our black sources. And play Eldest Reborn. And then think of the value. My opponent's just going to get rid of the Banalish Honor Guard here, which is fine. My opponent doesn't seem to be going quite as wide, so I think Sylvan Awakening is actually another reasonable way to finish this game. They're not going to have chump blocks for literally days. Ooh, Yawgmoth's Vile Offering. That's good. Alright. I can get behind that. Ugh. Yeah, Yawgmoth's Vile Offering is good. Can't hit Tiana with anything here. Just pass. Okay. And at least we'll let my opponent discard here. Oof. That's a card. That's probably, well, no. I guess they're just kind of 3 colors. I would say that's probably what they're splashing for, but they played a Dark Bargain. No real easy way to force the issue here. I imagine my opponent won't swing with Primordial Worm because they don't really want to trade. We are going to get rid of Tiana, though. She is a danger and a fiend to her and those around her. I mean, look at her. She seems like a danger and a fiend, don't you think? Can't kill anything last minute. Yeah, I guess just Mammoth Spider. I mean, we could get Fire Elemental, I guess. I think Mammoth Spider's better, though. Bigger butt blocker. Oh, I guess that's true. They couldn't swing at Tiana before. I don't know what I was thinking. Spider was in the way. Sylvan Awakening is interesting here. If my opponent, say, has like 1 removal spell, go block, take 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So not quite there yet. Getting close, though. I guess they take 1 more, 14. Yeah, that's pretty close, because we can tap the Elfhame Druid. Next turn with the Mammoth Spider, it's possible we could get there. I don't think there's a huge rush, though, either. Ooh. Now it really seems like there's not much of a rush. If we just find red, we have, I guess, 3 sources for it, I think. Yeah, 3 more sources. Because we could find a Surveyor, we could find Grow from the Ashes, or we could just find it. Let's see, what if we Sylvan Awakening this turn? We Sylvan Awakening this turn. Go these. Don't get Vigilance. So we can't Blessed Light after the fact. We could take as much as 11 coming back, which is dangerous. They block. 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's say it's dead. Block, and they have like a kill spell. So 2, and then we've got how many lands remaining? 6 lands remaining. Quite enough, is it? Okay, so yeah, this is 2, 3, 4, and then 6 lands. So that's 16 all told. So actually, we're still short. We could Blessed Light this next turn, maybe try and go for it. I don't know, though. It feels like we just don't need to with Daragaz in hand. My opponent feels like they've just got to be like loaded with removal spells as this hand goes. Yeah, I think I'm just going to keep sitting. And Memorial to Glory. I think as long as we've got Blessed Light, we can afford to just be cautious here. I might crack 1 Memorial here. Although this is a color combination that could have board wipes. Maybe not. Okay, well, we've got a mountain. So yeah, get them, Daragaz. Do what you were born to do. Meaning, eat some people. Definitely possible they have like a seal away of their own that's going to answer this. Since they haven't played stuff for so many turns, it just doesn't seem that unlikely that they have some sort of instant speed removal. Hopefully it's not an exile effect. Oh, okay. Yeah, they're probably just dead next turn now. Maybe they just got super flooded. That would be really flooded. Might be the case. I think we go for it here now. We don't have to make contact with too many creatures. Some sort of like instant speeds or like Settle the Wreckage. That just like destroy us. They would have used it though. Yeah, I'm gonna Sylvan Awakening. I've got that paranoid feeling that I'm forgetting something super important, but I don't think I am. Okay, that is enough for my opponent. So red, or I guess this is mine. Red, white, black, sort of just mid-rangey stuff. Does look like it's a true 3-color deck. Red, green, black, random mid-rangey stuff. Oh yeah, I needed to bring in Adventurous Impulse, I forgot before. Do think they're more likely to have a good amount of removal. Things like Primordial Worm, I think, are better. Not sure we need like Soul Salvage. Didn't see what their big like premier cards were that game. Frozen Druid could be important because it's possible that my opponent's just going to be kind of on the beatdown. I liked Mammoth Spider. Kind of always come back to these 3-drops for what I want to cut. Frozen Druid's a little bit awkward because I think we might need the 3 pretty badly, but I guess we have a lot of 3-drops as it is. Hopefully we don't just get run over. Alright. I like Adventurous Impulse though. It helps us dig a little bit farther towards our bombs. One chose not to play first. That's interesting. I think I'm going to keep, if we're on the play, Sanctum Spirit with a legendary in hand, even if it's a legendary we can't play, buys us a lot of time. And having lots of lands with this deck isn't necessarily bad. Like, we want to hit 7, 8 mana, so having 5 in the opening hand is a lot. That's not ideal, but it's not as bad as it is with some decks either. And I think that Sanctum Spirit's good enough against aggressive starts, especially if we can make it indestructible once, that we should keep. Alright, well, we're on track to play turn 4 Sanctum Spirit, turn 6 Primordial Worm. Rona. Alright, Rona's a good card, especially if games go very long, which definitely could. So either they've sideboarded out of red, or this is another splash card. I could see either of those being true. Okay, Sanctum Spirit will start swinging next turn. Yeah, Rona's okay. Yep, nope. Probably just another splash. And they just genuinely are playing a very multicolored deck. That's one of the cool things about the sealed format. I'm going to block, and I'm just going to say, hey, this is okay if you want to trade. I'm not going to make it indestructible and let my opponent blow us out. So, okay. If we're playing for the long game, Rona's definitely more important. Okay, so we can just play Memorial to Glory here. Continue to pass. Got a lot of lands. Would love to see like Verdant Force or something along those lines. Okay, Dark Bargain. My opponent did get the beautiful natural quad Tron, or whatever you want to call it. It's one step beyond Tron. It's like Tron, but better. I'm just getting rid of a land. Makes sense. It's interesting because they're doing this and they're not even really playing green. Okay, Navigator's Compass. Okay. And that may be... I'm not usually a fan of that card, but that may be justified in this deck. Sergeant at Arms. Definitely better than another land. Not absurd draw, but not terrible either. Okay. Primordial Worm. Take that. This is a card that has to be answered. Abolish Honor Guard. Plus one more thing would do it. Another Navigator's Compass. Yeah, I think we'll swing and offer the sick 2-for-1 in our favor if my opponent wants to go for it. I don't think they'll block, actually. That's kind of scary. I'm blocking. Oh, Gauge Reproach. Okay. Still a 2-for-1. I'm okay with that. Don't have any way to punish my opponent. They did not use the end of combat trick like we did. But it's alright, actually. Always keep up green. Just looks suspicious, I guess. Could always have that +1/+1 counter spell. The Rampaging Cyclops can still swing. If my opponent does get in, I'm pretty sure we don't want to block. Navigator's Compass. Much easier to use card in person. A little bit awkward on Magic Online. Triple red. They got Chain Whirler? Oh, okay. Well, we're still at 22. We do need to find non-lands here to to dig us out of our rut, but things aren't over either. I think I will crack Memorial to Glory and try and multi-block the Sergeant at Arms if they go for it. It's a little bit risky, but I think forcing the issue now rather than later. Okay, they are aware of it and aren't going to try. Yeah, we'll just take 3 then. That's fine. That means my opponent doesn't have removal, probably, and also probably doesn't have combat trick. Crack this. Come on, Verdant Force, off the top. That's actually almost a Verdant Force in this late game. Slimefoot is another card that's going to require a pretty immediate answer from our opponent. They are playing all the colors, which means I imagine they're playing all the removal. But they also didn't attack in with the Cyclops, which I think is what you do if there was removal. Do I just want to chump this, stay at high life total, drain a little bit? That's actually not terrible. We could wait and try to get more going, or we could just drain. I kind of like staying at a high life total, and we're going to start making 2 saplings a turn anyway, so we are going to eventually outrun them in that capacity. I don't want to lose to like a random fight with fire or something like that. Yeah, Slimefoot. Swamp was a pretty good draw there. Not quite as good as like Verdant Force, but pretty good. Okay. We will play Llanowar Elves. We actually haven't gotten to live the dream with our ramp too often in these matches, but that's okay. And we're just going to pass back with the intention of making a couple of Slimefoot tokens. It's interesting. Both games my opponents has just been like sandbagging a bunch of cards. They may just have a lot of really situational stuff. I don't know. I think you got 5 cards in hand, you're playing things. Do we just want to chump block this again? I feel like they've got to have removal, but it's maybe it's all like Gideon's Reproach style effects. So they or like Seal Away. Yeah, maybe that's correct. Definitely don't ever want to stay with the Slimefoot. Opponent also joining the go wide game. That in mind, does that actually change much? So we now have 10, 11 mana, so we can play the Sap Herd and not feel bad about that. We are out of cards, out of removal. My opponent finds something good. We still could lose here. But Slimefoot is going to keep plugging away. And eventually we'll just have too many Saplings for my opponent to deal with. I think we still just block with 1. We could get a little bit antsy. Try and bait out some removal spells. Like double block a bunch. They removed that. We just like really go all in on this, right? Go 2, 2. What if they have +3/+3 though? That could be pretty bad. I think I'm just gonna keep chumping. I don't think I need to force the issue. And there's a lot of things that could like destabilize our quite good board state. We're maybe losing a little bit. Like, I mean, we're definitely playing a little bit more slowly. But I tapped that the wrong way. Now it's double click. Literally the worst. Okay, Gideon's Reproach makes me think that maybe we should go for a more aggressive block this next turn. We still have most of our top end in the deck too. I guess we lost Primordial Worm, but that's kind of the worst of our top end. Let's use Slimefoot. I guess Syncopate would get us in that case. Not terribly, though. We just block, like, kind of everything here. And then if my opponent wants to try and go for something fancy, we'll Gideon's Reproach. And if not, we'll just let them kill off some individual soldiers. Okay, just choosing to kill the Sergeant at Arms. Not much else. Okay, maybe my opponent doesn't have anything? That seems weird, too. Oh, Garna. Huh, okay. That's pretty bad. Oh, man. So this just goes to the hand, right? So they can't play it this turn. Well, unless they have a land. Oh, man. Gallant Chain Whirler. Take Servant. Alright. That was something. Did not expect the Garna. My opponent's gonna get drained for a fair amount here. But yeah, that was bad. We're gonna take a lot of damage. Yeah, maybe I should just been chump blocking forever, because getting to rebuy that Enter the Battlefield effect is going to be brutal. So we still get to make 2 Saprolings, we still have Gideon's Reproach. Ooh, Skizzix. Not choosing to kill off all the Saprolings? I guess they're just waiting. Yeah. I think that's maybe actually better, isn't it? Ugh. Oh man, I can't believe we gave that to my opponent. No reason not to make more. Like, the drain aspect is definitely not insignificant. Grow from the Ashes. So we grow, we make 1 less Saproling, but we also get our red out of the deck, which means Daragaz maybe gets closer to being a real thing. Oh yeah, we have very few lands left in the deck, don't we? I didn't realize actually, I guess, quite how many lands we'd drawn, but with Slimefoot, it doesn't feel as bad as it often does. Alright. So at this point, we're still at 26 life, even with the Chain Roller coming down. Actually, I guess we're at 28, because we can still make a couple more. It looks like it's entering now. Sounds good. Can't do too much about it. We have 1, 2... We still have 8, so yeah, Llanowar's, like, using it in response doesn't actually do anything for us. Goodness, man, that's a blowout too, though. Chain Roller's gonna get, like, 11 creatures killed? Wow. Yeah. And always yield all these, I think. My opponent's gonna hit us for a fair amount, though. We make 1 Saproling. I think we do want to use the Reproach. Okay. And we don't want to block the Slimefoot. How much damage are we actually taking here? Quite a bit, right? 1, 2, 5, 10. We kill that, though. So 5, 6, 9, 11. Actually not the worst. I think we want to kill off Garna. Double block. Go up to 26. Yeah, it seems best. Then we don't have any other hasty nonsense to be afraid of. Don't want to use Slimefoot. Really just don't want to put them in harm's range or have a Gideon Reproach or anything like that. My opponent doesn't play anything, we are just going to kill Skizzix. It's pretty obvious that we have something in hand here. Yeah, Slimefoot's kind of single-handedly taking over this game. My opponent's smart. They maybe would save a pump spell because, again, it's kind of obvious that we didn't make another creature. Maybe that's bad. It worked out fine anyway. Yeah, we're gonna take a heap here. But we're not dead, and we have a lot of mana with Slimefoot still. No! Alright, we're probably dead. Verdant Force would maybe save us. No. Oh, I was so greedy and I was so punished. Okay. Well, I broke a bunch of rules. Should have just chump blocked the Chain Whirler forever, first of all. Because the reanimate was just so brutal there. Tragedy. Truest tragedy. Do we even have any lands? One. Okay. Oh, okay. So we're going to take quite a bit. 10 damage? 11 damage? 11 damage this turn. Not sure there's anything that can save us. Oh, man. This is so tragic, guys. This is just... I'm dying over here. Oh, man. We threw away a game that I didn't think was possible to lose. And Eldritch Reborn. And Garna. Ooh. Are we still just dead? Don't block. No, we're not just dead. Alright, Verdant Force. Oh no, but they can bring back Garna. Other creatures you control have haste. Can bring back Skizix. Well, I don't know. Let's see if they don't notice it. Well, we did draw literally every land in our deck. But, oh man, we should have won this game. I got greedy. I was like, oh yeah, we should just like remove this guy. That'll let us get more ahead, but there was no reason we had to do that. Block, block, block. Don't do it. Don't take Skizix. Just don't do it. Don't see the obvious. Think of how good Rona would be. This is gonna go. This is gonna exile. Rona can rebuy it for you. Come on, it's so good. Okay, opponent actually thought for a minute there, but yeah, just gonna grab the Skizix back. Which is absolutely the correct play. Now we go like block. Yeah, block, 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 take 4. Darn, so close. Okay. Opponent's still doing shenanigans over there. I'm gonna change anything. Radiating Lightning still doesn't seem fantastic. Fire Intervention doesn't seem necessary. I don't think I changed anything from what we're sitting at now. Let's run it back one more time. We had a pretty slow start, we had a pretty land-heavy start, and it worked out pretty okay, but I can see us doing a little bit better, too, with a better draw. That Slimefoot, though, kept us in a game we had no business still being alive in. Okay, this sounds good. Good play, turn 2 Sergeant-at-Arms. That Wombo. Our lands have been very good to us. Like, I don't think our mana base is bad, but our lands have been very good to us. They could have been a lot grumpier. Memorial to War. Don't like that card much. Okay, yeah, we're just going to play Adventurous Impulse here. Ooh, Slimefoot. Yeah, I think we're just going to take that. That was a tough thing for my opponent to interact with last time. Guess I'll put Elfame Druid on top. I don't think it matters much. And swing with the elves. Probably going to call the cavalry next turn. Something really unusual happens. That was not really unusual, so call the cavalry it is. And we'll just pass back. I wonder if I should be choosing to draw. I feel like the card actually doesn't matter as much. We have so much inevitability, I just don't want to get run over early. Killed an Overseer. Not super fantastic against Call to Cavalry, but does help stem the bleeding a little bit. Do we want to trade Llanowar Elves away? I don't think we do. We're not using that effectively this turn, but with things like Slimefoot and Primordial Worm in hand, we definitely will have opportunities to use it effectively later on. And we're building out a reasonable board here. If Keldon Overseer is the best thing that could play there, might be a Cyclops or something here, which would, yeah, kind of stop the assault, but... Come on, land. Primordial Worm would be very nice here. Yeah, ask and ye shall receive. Yeah, our deck has been super kind to us. Every time, like, oh, I want this. They're just like, okay, you can have it. Gave us Verdant Force. Admittedly, I should have asked for that earlier, but it's kind of funny how often I've just been like, I want this. It's like, yeah, you can have it. Alright, let's swing with Primordial Worm. With any luck, they'll have something like Gideon's Reproach as their best answer here. Yeah, or something? Or maybe just like random burn. Oh, okay, opponent did do it on the end of combat that time. Going the extra mile. Let's play Sergeant at Arms. Oh, we can't. We actually don't have double white quite yet. So Slimefoot then, which we can't activate for value, but that's okay. Well, as long as my opponent doesn't have like flyers, we're still definitely holding on to the ground. Stick does feel like it's going to be weak to flyers. Okay, Goblin Barrage. A good answer to Slimefoot, but we actually can hit my opponent for some good damage now too. So we're going to swing, and we already have enough mana so we can send in Llanowar Elves. This is 6 damage. Next turn's going to be even more. It's not impossible that we get to the point where we just start chump attacking. My opponent's only got a couple of blockers. Sure, they eat a 2/2, but if they take 7 here, it's not that bad. Man, I would have killed for like a Song of Freyalise in this deck. Or the Wild Onslaught or something like that. Skizix. Okay. So yeah, we swing. My opponent still takes 2, 4, 5, 6. Let's see. 2, 4, 5, 6, 8. Yeah, I think we're just swinging into this. We'll use Memorial to Glory. Ooh, Verdant Force. That actually might change things. I think I still kind of like swinging though, even though we're not getting it with Llanowar Elves then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. I am okay trading off a 2/3 for 7 damage. My opponent's got to be afraid if I kept the Llanowar Elves back. Man, we drew like basically perfectly here. Another long game though. Man, this series is going to be like 3 hours. This is game 2. But we are 2-0, which is better than being 0-2. I'll see you guys for our next match. Alright, match 3. I'm sure this one will be faster. I am sure. I'm going to keep this hand. We are on the draw. We have Adventurous Impulse. We do need to find lands and possibly get run over. But assuming my opponent's another slower, dirtily deck, I think I'll be not unhappy with this. Base green, Llanowar Elves is scary though. So ordinarily I'd want to play Memorial to Glory here, but I think actually Impulse things may be better. I don't really have a whole lot in the way of 2-drops. I guess, yeah, maybe we still just want Memorial. Alright. On the off chance we draw like our 0/2 ramp creature. I mean, we could find off Adventurous Impulse, but then we have to find a land as well. An untapped land, I mean. Okay, Academy Drake. Yeah, we're not going to be good against flyers. I think that's our deck's biggest failing here. It's Adventurous Impulse. And I guess we just got to grab a Forest. As much as I would like Surveyor, yeah, I think we just need to get on the board faster than that. Yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate. But if we take the Surveyor, there's no guarantee we get to 3 mana, and then that's probably curtains, given that my opponent started off with Llanowar Elves. Hopefully my opponent doesn't have like 4 Cloudbeard Sphinxes and 4 Academy Drakes, or this match is going to be unwinnable, or this game is going to be unwinnable. We may have to sideboard into blue. Or blue isn't bad, it's just not real deep. Oh, Hummered Explorer. I am down with that. Oh, and Icy Manipulator. I am sorry. Ooh, Elfame Druid. Really wish we could use the Druid. It would have been good a couple turns ago. Yeah, we're just going to grow from the ashes here. And I guess grab... Mountain's harder for us to find, Swamp's more important. I guess we'll grab Swamp. And pass. So next turn we could have to like call the Cavalry at least. If we find a land, we might go Elfame Druid, Sergeant at Arms, although that doesn't block the Hummered Explorer, which is taking a considerable amount of damage, especially considering that this 2-turn clock is not super likely to end. We also cast Eldest Reborn, that doesn't do much. Opponent might be stuck on lands, it looks like. Yeah, I'd really like to get the Elfame Druid going, but I think we just need to call the Cavalry here. My opponent may also be loath to sacrifice the land or elves if they're stuck on lands. So if we manage to like double block the Homerid, we do have to double block, basically for sure. Uh-oh. Into the Royal, or yeah, Blink of the Eye. Ooh, that's bad. His target arms may have been better. Oh well. Hard to know, hard to know. We're gonna take another 5 down to 8. To find answer to the Academy Drake pretty quick. Don't think I can chump block here though. Oh no. How dare my opponent play aggressive? Don't they know this is sealed? Okay. We're taking 4 from the Academy Drake next turn. Pretty much no questions asked. Have to find removal for that. I guess Eldest Reborn's maybe our best line now, because then we're taking hits from the Explorer. I think Sergeant at Arms is what we need. I should have swung first. That's a bit of a misplay. Well, this match is likely to be faster. It's likely not to have quite as long of a board stall, at least. This deck is soft to flyers. Especially flyers with lances. Basically gotta be like a toothpick for this, right? I guess drakes aren't that big. I guess it sticks it in his mouth and says rhyming speed. Ooh, did not equip the lance. That's nice. Means we're likely to get one more draw. No, not another Drake. Oh man, we're so dead. One's got lethal next turn. I think we have to Eldest Reborn, like, hope they sack a Drake. I think that's the only line we have. We'll pretend like we have the +1/+1 counter and lucky thing. It's like Elven Armaments, I think. Yeah. My opponent knows the gig is up. We'll let him kill us here, but I think that is gonna be the game. Alright. Opponent tapping to equip the Jousting Lance. I have to imagine. And they're just gonna get in. Oh, my face already hurts. Yep. Alright, GG. Okay, so do we want to sideboard into blue? I think there's good merit there. Especially given all the Academy Drakes running around. Like our white. I have the removal in white, which is hard to get rid of. I guess we could still maybe splash for like Blessed Light. Maybe, well, maybe Sarah Angel. Is there any reason to jump off of green? That feels kind of silly. Given that we've got Daragaz and Verdant Force and Sylvan, and Grow from the Ashes. Yeah, I think we're going to give up on white. Mammoth Spider also will be good in this matchup. But if we bring in blue, we get, I guess, a handful more flyers. I guess it's not even that many. I think it is going to be better than white is, though. Maybe we should just pull out all of our lands. I think we need to keep Eldest Reborn and Slimefoot. Play Vicious Offering. Just go a little bit further in that direction. Could play like Fiery Intervention. Might be a little bit much. Kind of light on playables right now. I could always play like Cold Water Snappers, or just 2 opts. Actually, maybe 2 opts is just best. That will not necessarily hurt, although I kind of like a Broken Bond too, if my opponent's got at least 1 lance. Is it enough for 1 lance? Lance is actually pretty bad for us, especially on flyers, because it lets him swing his, like, Academy Drakes into our Cloudreader Sphinxes. Could go 1 lower on land with this, but it feels a little bit rough. Could still just play white, play Seal Away and Blessed Light, and just truly be like mono green. Maybe we cut like the Trickster, some opts, and just be green splashing for good stuff. Could go that direction. Has the most removal. Sarah Angel probably is too much if we're also trying to do Daragaz. Okay. Sure. We will still definitely play Isolated Chapel. Let's add in our lands. I definitely want to be highest on green. My deck recommends 2 black, 3 blue, 1 white. We only need 1 red. So we could go with those. Green is definitely the biggest, most important thing. Oh, oops. Did I add too long there? Oh dear. Oh man, I didn't even notice we were running out of time. Okay, well, hopefully this is still good enough. I didn't have to mulligan this. Uh-oh. Okay, this hand could be good though. Mammoth Spider's nice. Let's go ahead and keep. Oh man, that was a pretty big punt there. Just sat on our hands for too long while we were building our new deck. It did not feel like 3 minutes. I guess it probably did for you guys. Okay. Well, we can get Slimefoot online with Skittering Surveyor. One did not have the Llanowar start, which is nice. Llanowar Scout, dramatically worse version. Okay. And we're gonna have Mammoth Spider. Even with the mulligan, maybe we get there. Skittering Surveyor kind of undoes the mulligan, kind of. Also possible my opponent doesn't have a ton of flyers. We may be. We're going a little bit overboard on the sideboard. Oh man. Should have been a little bit faster, that's unfortunate. Okay. I'm getting some value out of the Scout. Not really card advantage, but does speed you up a little. Ooh, Ballast Gorger. Spider still blocks that. I guess that's Adventurous Impulse. Play Slimefoot. We're going to take a hit kind of regardless. Okay, losing Grow from the Ashes is unfortunate. We have double white already. I think I'm going to grab one more green. So put that on top. So Skittering Surveyor or legitimately red, I guess, are kind of our draws for Daragaz now. Mouth Gorger is going to hurt. They have like Cloud Reader, Sphinx, follow-up. It's going to be rough too. Yeah, we don't have Broken Bond in. Ooh. Missing the sideboard was tough there. Definitely don't particularly care to block here. Getting back Skittering Surveyor with Divination, just for value. Oh, just rubbing in our face after the mulligan. But at least that's not a proactive card. Okay, there's the other Skittering Surveyor. Daragaz may yet write again. Mammoth Spider, and we're just going to pass. I guess we could have tried swing with Slimefoot there. I don't think there's any way we'd ever block with it. It's maybe a consideration. Does not have another land for Llanowar Scout, it looks like. Oh, or drew one. I assume you can do this anytime, right? Doesn't follow the usual rules for playing lands. I guess you could do it at instant speed. Probably. I'm not 100% sure on that. I'd have to look it up, but that's the way it reads to me. Alright, Academy Drake. Just on its lonesome, not so bad. And there's the lands. Mouth Gorger is going to cause us problems. Call the Cavalry. So we have 6 mana right now. I think I'm just going to Sergeant at Arms. Next turn we can call the Cavalry plus Skittering Surveyor. And I guess we're just going to start throwing 1/1s in front of the Gorger. We can jump block for quite a while. Untamed Kavu. Big, but not really anything beyond that. Okay, let's Skittering Surveyor. Slimefoot eventually does become a great jump blocker too, or makes great jump blockers. A steady stream. Let's grab Mountain. Let's make sure we grab the right land. I'm always worried if I don't zoom in that I get burned. Okay, we are successfully going wide, ladies and gentlemen. Successfully going wide. No good attacks. Yeah, if they equip up the Kavu. Oof. The worst part of it is I think we just kind of have to throw everything in front. Ugh. So they have one interactive spell. We block with everything. They kill like this plus a knight, and we've got way more than we need to get there. They have +4. They can't actually do +4/+4 unless they sandbagged with the Llanowar Scout. They do that, they kill off 11, and we have to have 20 total power, or, yeah, so that dies, that would die, all those would die. Wouldn't have quite enough. I think if they have Gift of Growth, the game's just over, though, right? Okay, well, let's cross our fingers. If they have little Gift of Growth, it's okay. If they have big Gift of Growth, it's not. They have, like, Blink of an Eye, which they showed us last game. It doesn't do that much. They do get to kill the spider. Hopefully it's just like a spider and a knight, though. And we can afford to take, I guess, 4. It's not great. This is a little bit concerning, because it looks like my opponent's cleaning up things that aren't the spider. Maybe he's trying to make room for a Baloth Gorger. Uh-oh. Blink of an Eye. Opponent kills 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Still. Oh, we don't get there. Blink of an Eye does wreck us. Oh, wow. Well. Yeah. Oh, that was brutal. I just kind of assumed that bouncing one creature wouldn't be enough. Yeah, I don't think we're working our way out of this game, unfortunately. I don't see a reason not to play it out, but this is gonna be tough. First Strike, Vigilance, Trample with 7 power that's a card. Is a card. Yeah, I think we just take it here. There's nothing really we can do about it. Yeah, my opponent got such value there. Ooh, that was brutal. Should have counted more carefully, I guess. Maybe wait one more turn to try a really big block. I don't know if it would have mattered, but wait a memory, refueling. Opponent's deck looks pretty good. We are still not just dead. We do have a lot of removal. Well, that's some removal that would answer the Untamed Kabuto. You can make a couple Saprolings with Slimefoot, buy us some time that way. Things are bad, but things are not over bad. Yep, again, if they have a trick, that's going to be all she wrote, but... Song of Freyalise is good, too. Oh man, if only we'd gotten the sideboard. Although I don't know if it would have mattered. We'd have had more removal. Yeah, maybe. Tatyova's pretty good. Yeah, I'm not sure we were beating this draw anyway, but the sideboard definitely would have made things better. So next turn, get some more Freyalise action. Grow from the Ashes. 1, 5, 9, 10. Costs us 3. We make 2 Saprolings. We're actually at 4, so we have to put at least 3 toughness. No, actually, we're at 6. We have to put at least 2 toughness there. Block there. Still not technically dead. I think this is over, though. I'm gonna call it at this point. I hate throwing it out before it's over, but I think this is over. Yeah. Okay. Well, thoroughly wrecked. It would have been interesting to see if the sideboard would have gone better. You know, my opponent's hand was fantastic. Still 2-1, still 2-1. Can't go straight 5-0, unfortunately, but at least this game was a little bit faster than the previous ones. See you guys for match 4. Back for match 4, and we've won the dice roll. And have a fine hand here. Let's go ahead and keep. It's a little bit slow, which is probably just gotta be my mantra with this deck. But assuming my opponent's playing just sort of a random mid-range deck, I think we're doing okay. Have Mulligan down to 6. And puts card on top. So no real reason to play the Isolated Chapel yet. Just play Forest and pass. Ugh. I'm grumpy about last game. I don't think the sideboard would have mattered, but it would have been nice to sideboard. Wow, okay. Now we actually have natural Daragaz, even without Skittering Surveyor here. Llanowar Elves is a scary start for my opponent, because it's possible we die before we ever get to play the big dragon, but Deathland Thallid, definitely solid. I would rather not play Sergeant at Arms next turn, but we could. Blessed Light, huh? Play Sergeant at Arms. We offer to trade with the Deathbloom Thallid. We save ourselves some life. They get a 1/1 out of it. Don't really need to play Skittering Surveyor desperately. Like, we've got lands. This would pull a land out of our deck. I think the life is actually more important, though. Let's play Sergeant at Arms. It's a bad trade for us, but we've got a very, very good trump card. So if we can just kind of stay even on life as the game goes on, mitigate the value this Llanowar Elves is given, we're going to be alright with that. Yeah, I'm just going to block here. My opponent did mulligan, so it's possible they don't have tons more gas. Well, they still have 4 cards in hand. Okay, they missed on their next play, which I am really, really happy about. Let's play Skittering Surveyor. And we'll just go and grab, I guess, green? Doesn't really matter at this point. I guess we would like to use the ability. Okay, well, we're living for Daragaz here. We don't have anything else in hand outside of Blessed Light. Dark Bargain. Okay. Good one. I think they missed. No, they didn't miss, because we played first. I was going to say, I think they missed a land drop, but not. So, Dark Bargaining on our turn seems pretty good. Uh-oh. Untamed Kavu. Okay, yeah, that's going to get Blessed Lighted. Pretty much no questions asked. Another land, not my favorite. Some flood is going to happen in this deck, though, because we do have just a bunch of Skittering Surveyors. We have a bunch of things that kind of proxy for lands. I don't think there's actually anything that blows us out for waiting Blessed Light, right? So we'll go if my opponent's got some sort of like equipment they want to utilize. We guess get a little bit more tempo value. We are just going to kill this, though. One more threat removed. We are 2 turns away from Daragaz. Ooh, Skittering Surveyor. Cool. So that unlocks my opponent's draw probably a little bit. Looks like they are just true blue. Or green-black, though. Malice. Yeah, Adventurous Impulse. That's a card that we can use. Find us something? Well, we'll take Slimefoot. Yeah, that's kind of funny that both of our mana dorks were right there. And yeah, let's play Slimefoot. With kind of no backup, but this still does help us keep some stuff at bay, not the Knight of Malice. The next turn we have Daragaz, and my opponent doesn't look to be in colors that can permanently answer him, so I assume Daragaz is a dude? I guess I'm not sure. Looks like this card really always looks super demonic to me. Oh no! Oh no, Daragaz! Oh, you have no idea how much this hurts! Oh no! Oh, we got so greedy. We got so punished for playing the mountain. Not playing the mountain. So punished. Oh, that's brutal. Oh, that's so brutal. Could have played it so much earlier. It wouldn't have even mattered. I was like, oh, the surprise. Oh, my heart. My heart. Oh, my heart. Yeah, this game's gonna be a lot harder now. Alright, well, I still get to get Slimefoot activations going. Oh, my heart. They don't have a trick, it looks like, because they didn't swing at the Knight of Malice. They're Llanowar Elves. We're still not out of this. As long as Slimefoot's alive, that is going to give us, I guess, a pretty good stand in the game. But yeah, that was brutal. Yeah, Thorn Elemental. I like me a Thorn Elemental as much as the next guy. Opponent actually, despite having a ton of creatures, doesn't have very many big creatures. Force Worm. Oh, well, that's a lot of creatures. Hopefully no like Song of Freyalises in our future. Sylvan Awakening. Might be good eventually. Not great now. We're gonna swing a Thorn Elemental. Opponent's probably just gonna take it. Jump blocking doesn't do much. Okay, this is nice. If they are going really hard on this, Gideon's Reproach will do good work. I can understand this line, like, Thorn Elemental's a problem for my opponent. It's not particularly likely we have another trick for, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we kill... Or do we just want to kill a bunch of Saprolings? Actually, maybe we just want to kill a bunch of Saprolings. In which case, we want to put Skittering Surveyor at the very end. We kill all those with Gideon's Reproach. Hopefully this works. My opponent has a removal spell in response. We maybe got a little bit. No, not too bad. No, we don't want to do that. Cool. And we just get to wipe the board pretty cleanly there. Alright, I think we're in a pretty commanding position now, despite pitching Daragaz. Ugh. Man, there's been a lot of ups and downs in this series, but that was the most painful, I think, so far. And it was so greedy, like there's no reason we had to do that, too. Got punished so hard. Just needed to be aware that Calico Skin Witch is definitely a card in the format. Okay, I actually like another land a fair amount, because now I can make 2 tokens with Slimefoot per turn. I'm swing a Thorn Elemental, and we're getting closer to the point where Sylvan Awakening is going to finish the game, too. Yeah, I think we're actually going to swing past. I think the 7 damage is maybe more relevant. And we'll just pass, and make a couple tokens with Slimefoot. My opponent's in a tough spot, though, because even if they do find removal, we have 2 kind of must-answer threats. They have a really good threat of their own that could potentially put us in trouble. Okay, Feral Abomination is not bad. Now the question becomes, do we have lethal? One's got 5 blockers. We can do 7 straight up. We swing for 7, they're at 4. They have 5 blockers. We play Sylvan Awakening, we have 8 lands, we get 5 attackers, 5 blockers. Should be lethal. Is there anything they can have for 1 black? Don't think so. Let's go for it. Okay, that is enough. My opponent mulliganed, maybe had kind of a tough draw, although definitely got us with the Skin Witch. Fortunately, it looks like another ground poundy matchup, so I don't think we need to sideboard too crazily. Skin Witch will be good against us, kind of no matter how you cut it, just it's powerful against ramp strategies. Want to change anything about the deck at large, though. Didn't seem like they were crazy aggressive. Honestly, it seemed like they were just kind of a bunch of random creatures. I think I'm just going to run it back. I can't see anything that I'm super in love with. Okay, another good hand, including Daragaz. Yeah, we'll keep this for sure. We are going to start off with Isolated Chapel this time, since we don't necessarily have a Plains or Swamp. Ugh, another Llanowar. Llanowar is scary. Very scary. We have Skittering Surveyor to find us. Our last color for Daragaz. Yavimaya Sap Herd and Slimefoot to stall. And Gideon's Reproach. That's pretty good. Adventurous Impulse is nice because that means that looks like my opponent's not going crazy aggressive. Maybe just need to find lands there. Oh, there's the mountain even. Are we going to learn our lesson? Yes, I think we are. Play mountain, and we'll just pass here. My opponent swings the Llanowar Elves again. Do we Reproach? Definitely an argument for that. Rather get rid of an Even Century, though, for sure. So, at this point, we're still happy to draw lands, I think. So I think Skittering Surveyor is not necessarily our line. I guess we'll play Sap Herd. Slimefoot's better later on. Could just Reproach. Kind of would like to do that on turn 5 in addition to one of our 3-drops, though. Is taking 6 damage from the Even Century. maybe just too much. Even Sentry just came down a little bit faster than we would like. Ooh, okay, Yargle's scary. Ooh, Llanowar Elves kind of makes me think actually holding up Reproach is good now. So we can double block Yargle. If they have like a trick, we could kill it in response. And having the Elves in play means that next turn we could go Slimefoot and Skittering Surveyor, the next turn Duragaz. So we're just going to pass with the Gideon's Reproach up. Try and double block Yargle, and... okay, Rite of Bells and Locks, good. Not like the nut or anything, but good. No swing with Yargle, sounds fine. Gideon's Reproach. Yeah, it is good. It's a 6/6, which doesn't actually fare favorably against our massive dragon. 6. So let's cast Skittering Surveyor. No need to show my opponent extra cards. Guess we're going to want to use white. We don't want to use black, though. I think that's good. Yeah, so we'll go grab white. We should be able to play Slimefoot then. Plains. Play the Plains. I don't know why the mana was so rough there. I was just worried we were going to mess it up somehow. So they play a Skin Witch. We'll pitch Sylvan Awakening, which isn't great. It's not terrible either. And Bells and Locks going to be a problem, but... or I guess the mini Bells and Lock, not the legit one. Yeah, we'll try and double block. My opponent's got a trick. Nope. Okay. Huh. They have a, like, reanimate? What's the line there? Maybe they're pulling back 2 cards from the graveyard. Maybe they have the Soul Salvage. Oh, they could still have Soul Salvage, I guess. Don't know. Yeah, not 100% sure on that one. Okay, well, we get Duragaz. Cool. For real this time. Did not discard it to an unfortunate Skin Witch. No reason not to swing here. My opponent's demon is going to be summoning sick, and they don't really have much of a board presence otherwise. And now we just have to hope they don't have an answer for Duragaz. Were they land screwed all last game, I wonder? They looked mono, like... no, because I think they Skittering Surveyored for... man, it's too many games now, I don't even remember. So we don't have lethal with Sylvan Awakening, I'd imagine. Swing with Duragaz. This card can get huge. We're gonna have to chump block it, for sure. Don't think my opponent will block. And let's cast our Sergeant at Arms with Kicker. And hopefully that's just enough to finish off my opponent. They can make a really big Thallid Omnivore, they can swing with the demon. We have a good number of blockers on the ground. Do we really care what? I guess it's just a soldier. There's no way to get this trample, right? My opponent eats everything. If they somehow gave trample, would we die? 1, 2, 3, 10. Let's see, we're at 11. This blocks 1 worth, and this could go get all the way up to 13. 13? I feel like we're winning next turn anyway. Let's maybe do something like that. And then even if it's a 13, we take 9, 6, we're not dead. That's maybe conservative, but I think I like it. I can't think of anything in the format that actually blows us out, though. Okay, yeah, opponent concedes. Okay, cool. Well, we had 2 very long matches and 2 a little bit shorter ones, so that's nice, I suppose. I'll see you guys for our last match. Hopefully we get to go that sweet 4-1. Alright, all comes down to this. Match 5. We won the dice roll again. We've been doing that a lot. Definitely can't complain. Yeah, this is a keepable hand. A little bit land light, but land nowhere else helps. We're going to get a turn 2 Skittering Surveyor, which is sweet. It's a little bit awkward because I kind of need to go and grab planes, but I really want to use these for our splash colors. I think it's just too greedy to not get white here, though, so I'm going to do that with our Skittering Surveyor. That might mean we don't have a great chance of playing something like Daragaz, but that's alright. We can win other ways, right? Right? Maybe? Ooh, Vicious Offering. Good card. That's alright, the damage is done. We already got Skittering Surveyor online. Fear us. Do we want to play Sergeant Arms for 3? It depends on how aggressive my opponent is. Although, honestly, we can probably play it next turn without it changing too much. I don't think we're going to win by beating down. Oh, my opponent's stuck on lands. We don't have a second white source for Sergeant. Maybe we do. I mean, we've got like Gideon's Reproach and the like to get there. This is obviously worse than playing it last turn, but no, my opponent's got some follow-up. I don't know. Ooh, I like Elfheim Druid, although I don't love it given what the other contents of our hand is. But let's keep swinging. Oh, didn't mulligan, right? I don't think I actually checked. Game keeps. Okay. Well, let's play our Druid. We're very, very close to just being able to play Vital Force. Ooh, Ariel. Okay. She's gonna get a Blessed Lighted, I'm pretty sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We could try and Gideon's Reproach. Almost certain that my opponent will swing. We could also swing in with the intent to Gideon Reproach. Because my opponent's such a good long-term value engine, though. On the other hand, Blessed Light is nice because it can answer threats that won't be attacking, and Ariel's main axis of attack is by getting in there for damage. How much does attacking my opponent matter? Not much. Problem lies if my opponent's got a trick. I guess we can swing. There's not a whole lot of downside to swinging. So my opponent blocks, cool. If not, fine. Like, they're either trying to call our bluff or not. So that gives my opponent the impression we have a trick, which is good and bad. A3, make another knight. I think I'm gonna play Skittering Surveyor, go and grab black, and try and Gideon's Reproach. This is leaving Ariel on the battlefield, which potentially gives my opponent some value as the game goes longer. I think I'm okay with it. And if we trade a trick for a trick, I guess that's not the end of the world either. We can still Blessed Light. It's funny. I feel like I do not bluff as much as I should. I don't really have the nerve to do it if we don't actually have a trick. But, like, even if we didn't have Gideon's Reproach in hand, the odds of my opponent actually blocks with Ariel there are next to nothing. Ooh. Okay. That's pretty good. I mean, we still get to Blessed Light it. My opponent does hit us for quite a bit. Gideon's Reproach obviously does not work anymore. Well, I guess we're just going to Eldest Reborn. I lied. It's a cleaner, better answer, given that my opponent has only one creature in play. There are times where that would be, like, absolutely devastating as far as plays go, but we have a good, clean answer, so. Does not... Oh, actually, it does work the way you want to. Okay. I was like, you can't tap other knights, but it's power extra less, so good play. I would have missed that if I was in my opponent's chair. Elflame Druid bites the dust. Doesn't matter too much at this point, but it does bite the dust. Obviously, my opponent should go for it. It's free. The next turn I'll have to discard. We are going to get Ariel back at some point with the Eldest Reborn, which is good. And we actually even have the colors for the activated abilities. So the dream is alive and well. Sorry, Angel. Another excellent card. Discard, my friend, discard. Okay, just pitches an extra land. Swing with Bull or Earth Everything. Again, I don't think they call us, but if they do, they do. Okay. We'll try and Gideon's Reproach. Nothing. Yeah, this is, I think, been tough for my opponent. They had a little bit of a slow start, and we just had great answers for kind of everything. Okay. Yeah. It hurts a little bit to use Blessed Light there, but Ariel would have been much worse. So, I mean, my opponent definitely would have used it to try and kill Ariel. So, that's definitely a trade I can respect there. Do I want to start sandbagging lands? I kind of think I do. Because my opponent, again, could have the Skin Witch. Eldest Reborn of their own. Do we just want to get rid of that? Ariel's going to be bad. Yeah, I don't actually have another great answer. Just let us get in for 3 more damage. Maybe we can still mise our way to victory. Dangerous part is my opponent still ooh, nice draw, nice draw. I was gonna say, is my opponent still got cards in hand? Verdant Force, I think, is gonna put the final nail in the coffin, though. And ordinarily you want to just empty your hand against something like a Skin Witch, but because we have Daragaz and we can't actively play it, keeping some lands actually might not be terrible. On the other hand, we also have Slimefoot. Yeah, maybe that's not correct. Okay, managed to pick up game 1. White-black, good stuff. Removal, Ariel, Sarah's Wings. I think the Broken Bond has a place for sure. Want to bring in anything else. Ariel is super dangerous. I could see bringing in like Fiery Intervention just as one more answer. Also, it's important to be able to get rid of Ansara's Wings if necessary. Primordial Worm still looks fine. Could cut Venturous Impulse. It's not a card that I'm ever unhappy about, but it doesn't do tons either. Kinda nice for helping us find lands or just bombs. Yeah, I think we want it. I think I kind of want to cut Primordial Worm, even though I think it is perfectly serviceable here. Maybe Sylvan Awakening? Sylvan Awakening is very good in some games. It's also can be quite bad. Maybe we have enough inevitability as it is. Alright, let's run this, I think. Right. We are blessed again with a good hand. My opponent has mulligan down to 6. Yeah, this whole series, our draws have been quite good. Okay. Another forest. Not exceptional, not bad. So Sanctum Spirit right now doesn't have anything to pitch for Historic, but I have New Benalia. We'll hopefully run headlong into a Skittering Surveyor eventually. Such beautiful art with all the stained glass. Yeah, we're gonna take 3. Pretty much no questions asked on my opponent's part. Let's see what the follow-up is. There's Disciple. Don't love this card. Although Black-White is the historic deck, and flyers are good against us, particularly. Actually, neither of these cards are super, super impressive. Is this a knight? No, it's just a cleric. Not sure I've actually seen a bird knight in Magic's history. Seen a lot of bird clerics. I guess we'll go and grab Swamp. We didn't actually fix our land with the Fiery Inferno, which maybe was incorrect. Eh, probably not. Flashing for 2 things. That's dangerous. Will kill us. pretty short order. Okay, intervention's good. I think I'd rather use that instead of Blessed Light. Let's go ahead and play Skittering Surveyor, go and find red. Fiery Intervention, the Aven Sentry next turn. Taking some damage. Like I said, flyers are definitely a weak part of the deck. It's not Fiery Inferno, Fiery Intervention. Yes. I'm so bad with card names. It's remarkable you guys put up with me at all. Alright, we go take 5 here? It's gonna be a sad day if I have to Blessed Light the Sarah Disciple. May happen, though. We are already down to 11, which is not what you consider a high life total, right? One is down to 2 cards in hand. We're slowly working our way up towards our real beef, which is nice. Let's kill the Aven Sentry. They have +2/+2 and indestructible. We will weep. They did not. Alright. Sanctum Spirit potentially can get us some life back as well. We're just taking 1 here. Third Disciple, even with some historic triggers, probably is still like 7-turn clock or so. Ooh, they didn't have anything. Okay, so we can't actually kick Sergeant at Arms, which is a little bit unfortunate, but I think I like having all of our colors. Anyway, let's play Sanctum Spirit. Alright, and we'll pass. I could see a world where we would Blessed Light away like the Knight of Nubenalia to try and get in there, but don't think it's the world we're living in. Oh yeah, I think my opponent must just be super flooded. And she is rough, certainly. We could swing the Sanctum Spirit just to gain some life immediately. Kind of like sandbagging until we have a historic card. Play Thorn Elemental. Maybe we want to... I was gonna say maybe we want to swing in and try and get like a removal spell. But Thorn Elementals are immune to things like Gideon's Reproach, which are nice. Anyway, and it's very possible that even like Seal Away, like hitting the Thorn Elemental is not the end of the world. Because we're gonna have Burden Force. History of Benalia. Ooh, okay, that is a card. Okay. That's a reason to play Knights. Between that and Ariel, pretty cool. So we take a hit. I think we will swing the Sanctum Spirit. Ooh, no. It's unfortunate. Okay. Should have tried to trade before, I guess. I wonder what they drew. Okay, so we could Blessed Light just away the Sarah Disciple. This isn't going to get the bonus from the Knights. I don't think we have to. Let's swing with Thorn Elemental, then play Verdant Force. It's just going to give us a good supply of chump blockers. This card's still scary, but I don't think it's going to be backbreaking either. Like the clock's just not fast enough. Okay. Always yield Burden Force. We do have some pretty crazy top end if we get up there. Have an answer for the Force. Sarah Angel. Sarah Angel's dangerous. Okay. I think we swing with both of these two and try and set up a position where Blessed Light is especially good. What if they don't block with Sarah Angel, but block with everything else on Burden Force? I think I'm okay with that because of History of Benalia. And Thorn Elemental will still get through. Yeah. I think this is going to be tough for my opponent. We have to Blessed Light the Sarah Angel. We're kind of hoping to like force some chumps. Okay. That is it. That is it. Memorial to Glory. And we've got 8 mana, so we'll play Sap Herd. Is there any reason to Blessed Light the Sarah Angel now? My opponent draw. Basically nothing, right? I think I'm gonna do it now anyway. I'm paranoid. I can't think of what they would have, but it would be so bad if Sarah Angel stayed alive. With that in play, I think this game is safely in the books. They're going to get a big hit in with the History of Benalia. We're going to have to chump here. But outside of some pretty good like drain or direct damage, which I don't think this set really has much of. And then Thorn Elemental is just lethal next turn anyway. Yeah, absolutely no reason not to attack. Like that. That, like that. Again, should we block even more diligently? I don't think there's anything that gives trample. I don't think anything matters. I think we're just going to block like this. Got a 5. See, my opponent's actually got something. They have to kill the Thorn Elemental or it just kills them. Okay, cool. Well, hey, I mean, we didn't get quite the 5-0, but we did manage to put together a pretty sweet 4-1 victory. Our loss was kind of messy and not real pretty. Again, missing on that sideboard was tough, but I'm not sure it actually would have made much of a difference anyway. This pool seemed very good. Having Skittering Surveyors is kind of the dream. Like, having a Surveyor in your hand can very much be the difference between a good sealed pool and a bad sealed pool. And we got a couple of those in addition to a Grow from the Ashes, so we kind of got to play all the colors. Daragaz was obviously great, Verdant Force pulled its weight, Thorn Elemental, yeah, all worked well with kind of a good tokens, plug up the ground strategy, and then finish it with one of our big bombs eventually. We only ran to 1 deck with Flyers as really its main strategy, which is good, because I think that is our hardest matchup. And we had some really kind of crazy games there, especially in the first match. Good night with the board stalls. That was absurd. I should have taken a picture. Yeah, if you guys are still here, thanks for watching. It has been a slog. I'm not sure exactly how long the video will end up being after editing, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's 2.5 hours. So, thanks for being here with me. I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys did too. I will see you guys next time.